coming away from the checkpoint. If you remember, you came up the smaller path. Don't be tempted to hang a left and go around there and go up again. You've done enough climbing for now. Let's drop down that path and go down towards that muddy field. As you come back down from the checkpoint, don't take the mudslide off to the right. That's where the bikers go. Carry on, well, the bikers go all around here, there's all bike tracks. Carry on straight and bend around to the left, and you're dropping down to the gate out onto the muddy field. So on your way back, as you come down, don't go around to the right. Remember, you're off to the left to the gate into the muddy field, through this gate and then across towards the windmill. I'll just go through. So you're going down, keeping to the wall to begin with, and then when you get over the drain pipe, bear over to your right to hit the path, the road that goes up towards the farm. And before you get to the farm, don't forget you're turning right and going through that gate that we did, and across the field, and then through the gateway, and then out left onto the road down to the end of the farm. Don't go through the big main gate, it's an electric one, you won't get through it. There's the little one to the right, which, if you remember, was a pull. Well, it was a heavy shoulder on the way in and a heavy pull on the way out, and then when you go through there you turn left and go down the hill. So coming down the gated road, we get to a gate, and at the gate we're going to take the footpath over to the right. So let's just grab this gate here. Oh, there we go. And it's usually a bit boggy through here. I've got some stepping stones here now. That seems to have made it a little bit drier. Up and then over through that bit, and then follow this footpath over the fields. And I'll come back to you when next instructions needed. Just a quick note, we've just come down across there, and follow the wall with the wall to your right. Looks like there's a footpath through there. Don't take it, just stay with the wall to your right, and just keep going. So when we get to this wall, there is a gate round the corner, or you can, if you want. If you don't like gates, you can climb over there. There's an arrow there, and then you follow down, and between the two walls at the bottom there is a stream to cross, but if you keep between the two walls and then carry on round and try to stay roughly at the same height. So after a while, after probably a good mile or so of going along between the walls, the footpath bends round to the left. There is a sort of a ridge that carries on, but we need to be taking the sort of, it's not quite as defined, but it's going towards that house up there, and it'll join a track just the other side of the house, so we keep the house to the right. So we've just come across the field onto this track, and this track leads into some woods, and we'll carry on this track until we see a footpath off to the right just before some houses, and then we'll descend down to Lindley Wood Reservoir. So as we come up that track, it's got quite steep at the end. Just up there's going to be some houses, but we're going to turn right and follow this path across here, go over this stile, and keep with the wall to the left. So we follow that footpath round, keeping the wall to the left at all times. There's now a segregated section from the rest of the field, from the livestock. Try and work out to this gate. Oh, there we go. Right, so follow the segregated bit down electric fence to your right, wall to your left, and you're guided all the way down to the road at the bottom this way. As you get to the bottom, by the way, don't come down that way there. You've got to stay right close to the wall, and then come out to the main road. It's a very quiet country lane, this one, and join it, and then stay on this road all the way down over the bridge which leads to Lindley Wood Reservoir, then up the hill the other side, and then we'll give you some more instructions there. So as we get to the top of the climb from the bridge, we've got we're joining the main road, the mainish road, and we're turning right. This is at Farnley, and we're going up to Farnley Church, and we're going to go left the church, just before the church, and go across the fields. So just as we get to Farnley Church, just past the house on the left, just go up towards the church a little bit, and then there's the stile there, and then you can see the footpath just about going diagonally across the field to the edge of the field, and then following it down to the main road over there. So, having crossed the fields from Farnley Church, we're entering our last 2 miles, and we're just going to go over this stile and across to the other side of the road where there's a footpath, which will then lead us down into Otley. So be careful crossing this road, it can be a busy back road. Right, there we go. So as you're coming down into Otley, there have been 2 turns off to the left, and shortly after the 2 turns on the left, you're looking for a footpath just before the houses on the left, which takes you down to Wharf Meadows Park. There we go. Follow that down to the park. Just before the park, that actually opens out into a little bit of a car park, and if you go right, left of the gatehouses to Farnley Lodge, but if we go right, and then there's a litter bin there, and just by the litter bin, the entrance to Wharf Meadows Park is on your left, and we'll go down there in a moment, and we'll turn immediately left when we get into the park. There we go, and follow this path all the way to a bridge which goes over the River Wharfe. There is actually a shortcut. Instead of just following it round and going over that little bridge over the beck, you can actually go straight on. We've got the skate park on our right, and if you go straight on to the right of the rugby post and to the right of the tennis courts, and then we'll get to the bridge. And here we are at the bridge. So you turn off left from the footpath and head up the ramp, which will take you across the bridge. And as we go across the bridge, we're crossing the River Wharfe, which is fairly full and fast flowing at the moment. It's been a lot higher, but there we go. And then at the end of the bridge you turn right and follow this footpath. Keep on the footpath closest to the river all the way to the end of this new estate. So as you get to the end of the estate, you got a choice. You can either go round to the left where that red light is and carry on the footpath there, or go straight down the steps there. Given the state of my knees today, I think I'll avoid the steps and go round the road. and then when we get to the car park just beyond, we're looking for a gap in the trees behind to get into the park there. So here we are, and just a couple of spaces in, you can see the gap between the trees, and that leads us into Garnett's Field, a little park. And depending on whether anybody's playing football or not, if they're playing football you'll have to go around to the left. If not, you can head directly across to the far corner, and there's a gate in the far corner. And so in that far corner there's an exit from Garnett's Field, which takes us onto Riverside Road, and we turn right. And then almost immediately at the end of the road, turn left. I say Riverside Road, it's Riverdale Road. Getting tired. Right, and then as we turn left, this is when you're doing your sprint finish now, your triumphal victory. Don't want to catch anybody put them on YouTube that doesn't want to be on. So this is Cattle Market Street, and we turn right into it, and just where that bus stop sign is the entrance to the church where you registered in the morning, and is also where the finish is. So if you're following this, let's hope you manage to follow it all and have a great race, and we'll see you at the finish with some hot food and drinks.